I often wonder if I shouldn't be taking like a sorbet between beers, like they do when you go to a fancy restaurant. You have your entree, and then they give you a sorbet to cleanse your palate before you eat the next dish. I sometimes wonder whether I should be doing that between these beers. But that just seems like a waste of time to me. Why would you waste time eating or drinking a sorbet when you could be drinking another beer? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. We're doing another McLeods. This is one that's been sitting in my to-do list for a long time now. This one here. Scotch Ale. Trader's Scotch Ale. 7.2% Scotch Ale. I don't know, I've always thought that this is going to be sort of dark, malty, and not what I like. But I thought, fuck it. You've got to do these sort of things. You've got to get out there, give people what they want. And that's like an honest review of beer that you don't normally taste. So I would never pick this up. I would never try it. And I don't know why, but it's probably because I have a thing in the back of my mind saying, this is going to be horrible. It's going to be dark. It's going to taste like spates. But anyway, let's have a read of the side. It says, McLeods, a small northern brewery with a big Scottish heart. Wee Heavy meets Horopito. Okay, so there's a little bit of Kiwi in there. It says, a uniquely Northland take on a Scottish strong ale. Along with a hint of rye malt, we use Horopito, a native New Zealand herb, which lends a slight evergreen note. Crimson in the glass, this ale's big malt body boasts layers of fig, raisins and dates before a smooth, silky finish. A wee heavy style, it's the perfect match with most meats and strong cheeses. And then they say Slyanty or a Scottish thing like cheese. Okay, so a wee heavy, so that's like a strong Scottish beer. And then they're throwing Horopito in here. Well, Horopito is like I always thought Horopito was had a little bit of sort of peppery sort of taste, Horopito. But anyway, let's do it. I'm not looking forward. Well, I'm in two minds as to whether I'm looking forward to it or not. I'm not a fan of dark beers. And this says it's going to be dark in the glass. Oh, this is never going to go well, is it? All right, here we go. Dirty glass. Look, didn't even clean it. Oh, look how dark that is. So I'm kind of thinking Spates Old Dark. Kind of thinking Spates Old Dark. It's got a nice, well, it has got a very fine, it's got a fine creamy head on it. If I get that to focus up there, it's got a fine creamy head, but not super fine, not a bloody Kilkenny head on it at all, but it's kind of that sort of colour. All right, here goes. Okay, so it smells like a Spates Old Dark. Like it smells malty as hell. That's something that I'm not really, I'm not a bloody fan of that, but oh well. Just for you fellas, I'll do this. All right, here we go. Trader's Scotch Ale. Come on, McLeods. Pull one out of the bag for me. All right. So if I could compare it to a standard beer, I'd have to say Old Dark. I'd have to say that. In my mind, This is not something I could drink a lot of. Like, in fact, I couldn't drink. I won't buy another one. But just purely because, like, I just don't like it. It's velvety on the tongue, and I just don't like that sort of, I don't know. It's me. It's not the beer. I mean, the beers, I just don't like malty, really heavily malted beers. Yeah, I mean, for those that like Spates Old Dark, this is like an upgraded version of Spates Old Dark. This is well, for a start, it's like nearly double the ABV on it. So she's 7.2. But yeah, it's a bit dark for me, and I can kind of I can feel it going down. So it's, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say it tastes like medicine. It doesn't taste like medicine. It feels like medicine, but with each sip, it sort of gets. I don't know. Shut up! Shut up! Shh! I think with each. Be quiet. With each sip, it sort of. I think it grows on you. This would be quite nice as a winter beer. Like if you're sitting somewhere and you're just going to have one or two. If you're going to have one or two, and at 7.2, you probably only want one. So if you're going to have one, so you're going to go out, you're going to have one beer, and maybe some. I think this would go nicely with, well, they say meat and cheeses. So if you turned up with one beer at a barbecue, people would look at you and say like, fuck, what are you doing? Just get a taxi. But in saying that, if you're going out with the missus maybe, and you're going to, I don't know, some sort of restaurant, and you think, I'm going to have a beer, if you want to pair that beer up with some meat and some cheese, I can see that. Fucking salamis and like little sausage things and little bits of meat and some slices of cheese and stuff, like different cheeses, like a soiree. If you're going to do a soiree, so if you're having a soiree and you want to have some Northland stuff, you want to get some Grinning Gecko cheese and some McLeods beer. This is not my style of beer. I am going to drink it because I'm not because I'm a Scotchman, and it would be a travesty to waste beer. But Scotch ale, I'm sorry, is not my favourite. Like and subscribe.